The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
You are listening to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with a sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Sports Network. Listen in as Brent and Dave invite you to belly up to the bar with them to talk about everything in the world of sports, just like you would do at your favorite watering hole. It's sports, beer, and shenanigans. So belly up to the bar with us, grab a beverage, and let's get into it.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, episode number 406, I think. 4 beer sports talking a whole lot more on this 27th day of June, 2024. Today's show, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod over there at SeatGeek.com and saves $20 on your first purchase at SeatGeek. Remember, we're part of the Belly Up Media Network. Make sure you go to their website and also check out other great podcasts. So I was supposed to go on tonight, but I had to cancel because of work obligations. Hate saying that, but it's the truth of the matter. The Corner Booth Podcast, no credentials required, and my guys over there at Craft Brewed Sports, my favorite on a Tuesday night. We'll listen to those guys BS and everything else. But anyways, Dave, how's things? How you been? We saw each other face to face for a second time in a week. It doesn't have, in the 4 years almost we've been doing this, other than when you used to come over back in the early inceptions of the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, we'd see each other a couple times a week, but then it went through COVID and on it went. And then twice this week, face to face. Twice.
Last night was a surprise for you. I got sent on a mission. There was something for the kids' ball team that was at Spitz Stadium. And I just walked in like I owned the place. It was a pretty busy place. And then I wasn't looking around 30 seconds, and I found the mayor of Spittsville strolling around,
shaking hands and kissing babies. That's what I do around there. And then, it was interesting. Then we we solved your little problem. And then some nice woman, she rolled in today with the same problem that you had. And then what I laughed at, she says, "I guess I got some pizza here." I said, "Okay."
I know exactly where that shit is.
I said, "I'll take care of that for you right now." There's Snookums. I didn't say Snookums, but yeah. And she was, but the thing that made me laugh about it, I said, "Okay, how many did you order?" She goes, "Well, I don't know."
There ain't no name on it.
I said, I give you all 10 of these or one. I said, whatever, I don't care. If you want 10, I shouldn't take them. I said, yeah, please don't take them, because then somebody else will come back to me and bitch about it later on. And this isn't my lane here at beautiful Spitz Stadium in Lethbridge, Alberta. But, if you want to take 10, great. Then I can just say, you know what? Go to your house and get them. They don't bother me anymore. It's
give me your name and number. And if you took too much, I'll just...
Yeah, I'll say she took them. Becky Homecki took them all. Give her a call, and it's out of my fucking hair. Jesus Christ.
Her late south. There she goes. Here's her number.
Yeah.
It's that was quite a place for a little fridge combination down there in the bellows of this.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of crap down there that we're probably got to do a little bit of swabbing down there. There's fucking Slurpee machines and taco machines and pretzel machines and popcorn machines and all kinds of cotton candy down there. There's all kinds of stuff that a baseball general manager's nightmare down there. They're taking a look down there like, holy Christ, what are we doing with all this shit down there? But whatever.
Yeah, like when the season's over and you guys you and I should come over there. I could probably supply some manpower. Let's dig in and see what we can find down there.
Liquidate the assets a little bit, start giving it out. Maybe start up a little concession stand on the corner, make some money of our own.
There might be wieners on pokers ready to do the tour. It's just a matter of turning on the hot dog machine. Yes.
This morning when I got to the office there, Dave, there was no. I go in quite early, and it's good. Like I get a lot more work done. Nobody's bugging me about stupid stuff and about hot dogs and fucking whatever. And I walked into the boardroom, and it was absolutely in shambles. And we got a couple of summer interns back there that. I don't know, 20 and 22-year-old girls, and nice girls, nice enough, like Ivy and Kelly. I shouldn't say their names, but whatever. They're nice enough girls. But they must have a maid at their house. They have to, which might be just their mother or father or whoever. And I started picking up after them, and I thought, you know what? A man of my stature should not be picking up after 20, 22-year-old girls. Like I shouldn't. So the stuff that I had in my hand, I threw in the garbage, but I went to the back and I grabbed the vacuum. and I put it down right next to where they sit. And it's still sitting there at 6:30 tonight when I left the office. Didn't move it, So what I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to take their computers, put them on their seat, and put the vacuum on top of their computers and see what happens.
They're moving that vacuum. They're not starting that thing up. No, they can't. Kids these days can't take a hint. Can't take a fucking hint. I had the same thing with guys in work trucks. Go in there, there's fucking rappers. There's Tim Hortons. Like, for fuck's sakes, it's the lightest thing you got to lift up all fucking day. Take it out of the truck every day. And the thing, I put it on the seat. And you know what? There's 2 days worth of shit between the seats. And I got in the truck on Tuesday or whatever it was. And it was clean. I had made sure it was clean, like when they got it. And then the fucking shit is like a little bomb went off in there with like, how many times do you fucking stop at Tim Hortons, or do you fucking rip up the napkins and throw it all away? So I just took a picture of it and texted them both. And I said, please, guys, last time I said in capital letters, this is the last time I say please. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I was quite shocked. I was just like, this subtle hint from old BR there, and I was like, that didn't do it. And then this little girl, this intern, she, she's a little girl. Like, I'm 50, right?
She's a young woman. No,
young one. No, she's a little girl. She's a little girl. She had a task to do, and it was to get baseballs for somewhere out of the sea can. Blah, 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 blah. She says, where are these? And I said, you've been here for 3 weeks and you don't know where this is? No. I said, maybe you should do more. And I'm hard. I am. I'm not going to pretend that I'm not. Like, I'm hard. When people do dumb things, they should be treated like they're dumb, right? So I said, do you need to figure this out? Like, this is your task. Like, how do you not know 3 weeks in? So then I said, it's over here. I'll go open the door for it, because it's tough. Those C-can doors can be a little bit tough. Then she says to me, she says, can you get those out of there for me? No. She says, they're heavy. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like,
your job.
It's your job. Play the magical flute so they fly out of the air and get out of here. Don't ask me to do it. I was shocked. I said, how about this? That's what I should have said. How about you go home? Just go home. And I'll do this little menial task, and I'll put your paycheck on top of mine as well. How's that sound? So that's what I should have said.
You gotta, that's not how you run a team environment, Brent. Maybe that's part of the problem, what's going on in the offices of Under the Lights.
No, it's because everyone's gotten away with that shit. Everybody else fucking letting somebody else fucking do it, not holding anybody accountable.
Who taught her? Who ran her orientation? This is this place. This is this place. This, when we say C-can, this is there. When I give you, when I put a vacuum in front of your chair, fucking use it. I shouldn't have to say that. You have to say that to kids these days. You have to say that.
No, they're not going to like the way I fucking say it tomorrow, Dave. They're not going to like the way I say it tomorrow.
Say, please. You want these people to go to battle with you, and then when they run for the...
Oh, I do. Hey, can you do this? Hey, how's it going? Mary Spitzfield, hey, how's it going? And then I finally, I'd use an old Brentism, and we talked about it here before, like, when I ask you to do something, I'm not asking. I'm telling you to do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sugarcoating this anymore. Like, this, hey, can you please do this? It's just a nicer way of what I'm thinking in my head. Like, hey, fucking do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's the same thing. Like with me, like there's 4 guys that I'm under constant supervision, like direct supervision all day. It's like, yeah. Could you go do this, please? Could you go do this, please? And there's this one guy, I go, when I'm saying please, that's kind of me saying right now. Oh, okay.
No, whenever you get around to it.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's fine. You know what? It's a short season. We've only got, I think, 20 home games left. Why don't you just wait till September when it's not as busy? That way, it's fine.
And then we'll all have nothing to do, so we can.
So then we have time to help each other.
And take our time.
Then we just take our time, and it's fine.
Why did two interns get the whole boardroom for themselves just because they're?
I don't know. I think what it is their voices annoy the hell out of me, so I put them back there so they're not anywhere near me.
Why don't you put them in the press box?
Well, because I go up there too sometimes. Sometimes that's my solace. I go up there myself and play some tunes and watch things.
I thought you'd go in the umpire room and just get the private stash of beer and drown your sorrows.
Well, it's not that I haven't done that before. But anyways, are you surprised? The news came across the wire about 4:00 today that Ken Holland, post-mortem, I guess, not like the Oilers haven't even really given their press conference, and the Oilers decided to not bring back Ken Holland from his renew his contract for 5 years, I think, with the Oilers. Just went Stanley Cup Finals. I'm not saying Holland's a bad GM, a good GM, or whatever. The timing of it's a little bit odd considering that they went to the finals. Not saying that Holland's or any reason for it by any means, because they had McDavid and everything else. But it's is this just a thing where, you know what, we got to get it? Like, I think it's a smart move, just on the hockey side of things, not to do with Holland or a GM, but and it happens all the time in sports, if you drag not hiring a coach, if you drag it on not hiring a GM, if you drag it on not hiring a director of player personnel, on and on it goes. Like, it's better to be right off with the Band-Aid before free agency starts than just drag it out, and then all of a sudden players are playing for certain, because players do that. They play for their like general managers and stuff and locations. Like they take that into consideration when they pick who they sign with. Is this just a matter that the Oilers think, you know, that they said we have to make a decision now? If we sit on it, that next thing that we might need, we might lose that because we have no one in place.
I kind of blame the NHL a lot about this, because like we touched on it just a little bit on our last show on Tuesday, how the season goes so goddamn late, and then free agents, the draft is this weekend, and free agency starts on Monday. How does that fucking work? How is that fair to teams that go deep in the playoffs? The podcast that I was listening to today, I forget which one it was, talked about it. I think the president of the Oilers is Jackson.
Yeah, it's Jackson something.
Yeah. The president of the thing. They specifically talked about that today when the press release went out about Ken Holland. He goes like fuck, we had shit to do. I'm paraphrasing here. This isn't a quote. So
that's probably what they said behind the closed doors. Listen, we got shit to do.
We got shit to do. Here. Like, you know, like, how are we supposed to be managing GMs, like potential GMs? How do we ask other teams if we can interview their GM? Like, we got fucking shit to do. We're in the Stanley Cup final, and we just made one of the greatest comebacks to get to this point. And now we're rewarded with 7 days less to sign free agents, to hire a GM, to make fucking travel arrangements for 500 people to get to Florida, to just go through the ringer and be super sad, then super excited. And now we're all super sad again. And you know what? The sun comes up tomorrow, and we got to say, I'm sure they knew this. Like, I was under the impression in fucking January already that he wasn't coming back. That's what the Oilers let us know. And so the answer to the question is no. I'm not surprised at all that Ken Holland's not coming back. But as to not having a replacement in line and ready to announce someone, like, what are we supposed to fucking do here? We had shit to do, and we were doing it really well for a little bit.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy how the two guys sitting in their basements can figure this out, but the World Hockey headquarters can't figure it out. There's just like you think when like the Super Bowl ends in January, and then the NFL draft is in April, like end of April every year. So there's some time in between. There's the combines and on it goes. Like how the other sports leagues And like the Major League, it's another weird one. The Major League Baseball draft is next weekend, I think it is. The teams, there's already like the minor league teams are already going. The Major League teams obviously going. The guys who get drafted aren't playing in the Major League Baseball this year. But how these other teams, and I'm not a NFL apologist by any means, you know that. But how these other leagues can't figure out a timeline that's a little bit more suited for the game, to spread it out a little bit and figure it out. Because I don't think, in general, I really don't think, like when it comes to, we'll talk about the draft, I don't think that a kid gets any better from fucking whatever day to whatever day when the season ends. Like it's just, but at the NFL draft, the NFL plays over the fall and into the winter, and then they have the spring and everything else. But the way that the seasons line up, I and baseball especially, why they don't have the draft just before opening day. It's not like a kid playing college baseball that goes to the College World Series. It's not like his draft fucking status is going up by any means, that they can't do a draft before the Major League Baseball season starts, because that kid ain't playing. It's probably, it's a good marketing little thing here. Get a little hype around it, because spring training does get people involved in it, but do the draft during spring training, because nobody's going from the first overall pick to the 48th round in baseball. Do something early and get more hype around the game, and keep it a thing, because the draft gets lost next weekend, because who's watching it? Who's ever watched the baseball draft other than the parents whose kids are getting drafted?
Because of all the sports, like the baseball draft means the least in the first round, right? Like the only ones that go in the first round are kids that got drafted 3 years ago and then went to college.
Exactly.
Right. And then so now you got your couple studs in there, but then that's it. And baseball, there's no one person that's going to be a franchise changing player
that year,
or even in 4 years. They always need a couple years. Whereas in
so this is my point, Dave. So why not get these kids in the public eye, and not just with like, let's say who was the first overall pick this year? Who's the word? Oakland, probably. So they have let's say they have the first top 5 pick. I won't know, and I'm a baseball dork. I won't know who those kids are because the draft isn't even on here. So do it during spring training when there's not baseball games on. But if you do it then, I will hear those names, because I'll put it on a TV or I'll put it somewhere. But when a professional, like when a major league game's on, who's watching the draft when the team that you're following is playing? If your team's not playing, why not have the draft then? So then these names get out. Like the NHL does it not a bad job with the draft, because they do it when teams aren't playing. The NFL does a fantastic job with the draft because their teams aren't playing. So the name gets out there, and there's a little bit of hype. Now, so now they're going to have this draft next Saturday or Friday, whatever it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whatever it might be. That kid who went first overall will be known by a few people at the school he went to, and then by the team he got drafted by. He's not going to be a household name. Like when every NHL kid goes first overall, everyone in the hockey world knows that kid's name. Same with the NFL, same with the NBA. Major League Baseball, nobody outside of a few people know who goes first overall. Nobody, because it just doesn't get out there.
And if you put it on TV,
can't hurt.
It's not going to help you. Like if this is your jam, then just tune in live online. I'm sure they have it, or at least look at the.
Well, MLB Network plays it, but
like to what end? Like, so I can follow this guy going from Jamokeville Jokers to the Swift Current Sallies, and like watch him for 5 years in minor league ball, follow along. That's only for the super fan. Like baseball is just too many players that aren't ever going to make it.
Well, no, I agree with you, but like they have to try something to give these kids their penance, I guess, a little bit, or give it a little bit of hype, because then you have a reason to follow a kid. Then you have a reason to.
Why would you follow someone who's never going to make it though?
Well, but they might. Like, there's a lot of kids who get. I don't know. I just think the other leagues to do a lot better job of doing it, and I don't understand why they don't find a way to publicize it more. Like, it makes zero sense to me.
Yeah, I could give a fuck about the baseball draft just for that reason. Like, you never really know who's going to pan out. It's just such a crapshoot, and then you have your normal draft, and then you have different rules for your Latin America draft, and then you have different rules for your European draft. Baseball will draft anybody and everybody. Like how many goddamn teams? Like, there must be 1,000 not major league professional baseball teams in the States. There's so many fucking.
Well, they got rid of a lot. They got rid of a lot of minor league teams a couple of years back when they. That's why there's a team in Kalispell now, right?
Yeah, like, they're unaffiliated players, and like, I think that whole Pioneer League is, and so there, and never mind. And then you got your wood bat baseball leagues. Like, I don't know if the Bulls are professional baseball. They're here, and the kids are getting paid a pittance, but they're getting paid, right? Wow. Then you got your coastal thing, and then like there's so many fucking kids.
There's a lot of teams.
And you got your Mexican leagues, you got your summer leagues, like your Puerto Rican leagues. There's so much fucking baseball. You never know who your winner's going to be. And you know what? That's the one sport where if it's not, even watching players that are good at it can be really fun to watch. Yeah. Like, not the best of it. Whereas, like, hockey sometimes, a lot of times, in basketball, when it's not played at the most elite of competition, then it's really not good.
Yeah.
Whereas baseball, you can always watch something.
Baseball, like, to the major league level, obviously those guys are just at a whole nother echelon. But like, we got a couple of kids for the Bulls there, like, they making plays. Obviously, the ball's not hit as hard and on it goes, but there's a couple that, like, holy Christ, this kid's good, and they're not close, right? But they make plays, and like, you can go to a minor league game or a college wood bat game or a college game, whatever it might be, and there's not a huge difference. Right, like there's kids that are really, really good, but then there's other kids that are just at another level, obviously, like the Mike Trouts of the world and the Aaron Judge of the world. They're another level, but there's a lot of kids that are really, really good. You go, holy Jesus! And that's kind of one thing we laugh about at Spitz. There is like a lot of the kids, like the kids who come and watch the games. They think that those kids are major leaguers, or the players are major leaguers, right? They're in awe about how good
it's a big park, yeah.
Yeah.
No, and one of the things that they have, that little league park in Lethbridge here, where every little league, like 12-year-old team, gets to play under the lights one time, and they fucking love it. And like, when they have tournaments and the out of town teams get to come and play under the lights, like, there's nothing like, you always remember your first time playing under the lights.
Yeah, no, it's actually really fun. My first time playing under the lights was actually at Spitz Stadium, but it was Henderson back then when I was playing high school baseball. I think I was in grade 9, and I was like, holy fuck, this is a big time, because that was back when the Dodgers, just after the Dodgers left, and then the like before, like, all that stuff was going on. I was like, holy Christ, this is cool. Like, I thought this is the big time, like, because it wasn't too far removed from when the Leopard Dodgers, Steve Sachs, was playing the field there and everything else. Like, this is fucking neat, man. Like, it's we haven't changed the fucking paint since then either, but whatever.
And mine, the first time playing under the lights was soccer. I think I was around 16. There's a Calgary, for whatever reason, it was a league game that got postponed for something. And so the Sportsplex soccer field, where the high school football games used to be, right now it's just like a staging area for the NMAX Center. But yeah, we played under the lights there, and that was pretty neat, with all 20 parents in the stands and playing under the lights.
20 parents, there should have been 40 there. 20 were down to the bar down the street, whatever it might have been. So
yeah, that because that was in the early 80s. So
yeah. No, it's funny that it's funny you look back on that stuff, and you remember that stuff, and that's like you said, I'm glad that kids still like it to play under the lights like that. Like you said, Josh, when he did it the first time, he must have been like, "This is just the greatest thing in the world." And I'm
cool.
glad, and that's one thing I'm glad I heard you say that, because you hear so much negativity when it comes to minor sports, and I think a lot of parents got to really tone it back. We talk about it all the time, off the air and on the air, that parents got to tone it back and go, like, look how happy my son is. Like this, he thinks he's in the fucking big leagues right now. You know, like he thinks this is the greatest thing in the world, and we'll get into like walk up songs, which I think is weird, but whatever, they do it and it's fun for kids. But when the first time you get to do that, parents got to get back to realizing like that might be the coolest moment my kid's ever going to have playing this sport that he's kind of good at, really good at, or not really good at. This is fantastic.
And just a core memory, like it's just, you know, in the grand scheme of your season and then what have you, it was just one more game, but it was the first game I played under the lights, and you kind of remember that a little bit. Like as I think back, I don't remember that much, but I know I know
I was there.
Yeah,
I don't even know if I played. Like I was probably on the bench as grade 9. You know what I mean? Like I know I warmed up. I don't know if I got an at bat. I probably didn't get an at bat. I couldn't hit. You know, so. But
it was under the lights. You know where you were. Like
I know exactly where it was. Everything else, I thought, holy fuck! There was a grandstand, like an actual grandstand, the whole bit, and yeah, it's pretty neat when it gets to that stuff. It's but I think people got to get back to realizing that it's just. But
enjoy the little things.
And the little things, those are the things that matter. Like, wax poetic here a little bit, but those are the things that matter. All the rest of it don't fucking matter. It don't matter. Like, at the end of the day, 99.9% of us don't make the big leagues or the NHL or the MLS or whatever it might be. And it's when you look back, and I said this before and I'll say it again, I always loved playing sports, but I never had fun doing it. And that's my one regret that I had. Like, I wish I remember all that stuff, right? And parents got to realize, like it's still fun. Like, it's still just fun, man. Like, go out and have a good time.
And as you mentioned that, you know, like you said you didn't enjoy it, but like those games and what have you, what you're taking away from that, though, isn't those wins and losses. It was the busting balls in the locker room afterwards, getting ready for practice and doing that stuff, the camaraderie. And, you know, and then, you know, as a parent, you know, you see some of these kids, they struggle in the field and have a bad inning. But then you see someone fuck around and you hear a little laughter to the dugout. And they're not like, you know, it's just, they're cracking each other up, each other loose. Jasper has a pretty good team. And, you know, it's kind of funny. It's, I have 2 nephews that are quite young. I want to say 6 and 3. Yeah. And when they come to Jasper's games, they want to get right by the dugout and hang out and see Jasper. Then Jasper shoos them away. I don't want to hear those kids hearing what we talk about in there.
And he's only 13, right?
He's 13 and just turned 14. Sorry,
just turned 14. Yeah.
But that, like, there is crazy potty language coming out of that dugout.
Well, I was quite shocked because this is funny you say that. I was because I've known obviously Jasper forever, right, and everything else. And when I umpired one of his games a month and a half ago, whatever it was, helped out in the community. Because I'm a man of the people, Dave. I went to the dugout because it was fucking windy and cold and shitty. So I went and warmed up a little bit because I fucking want to get out of the wind. You know, man of my stature, being out in those conditions. I was like, Jesus Christ. And the stuff I heard those kids saying, it brought a tear to my eye and warmed my heart. Just because, like, that was me fucking 5 years ago. Laughing and joking, and they don't give a fuck that they don't have a pair of shorts and whatever else. They were busting the guy's balls so he can't catch a fly ball. And this guy sucks, and this sucks. And then one guy's taking it way like your son was taking it seriously, which is good. He was mad about an error, so he was mad, but the other guys are down like, fuck, man, it's not fucking very good. Like, fuck, whatever, dude. It's just funny, and like it is great to see that. And I think parents, I don't know how we got into this, but it's a good conversation. I think parents, all of them, need to go into a dugout, a dressing room, whatever it might be, put a muzzle on, and listen and watch the kids having fun, because that's what matters. Like the rest of it, the kids don't give a fuck. They don't.
Yeah.
They want to have fun and play, whatever.
They'd rather win than lose, and we all know that, because if you're
not competing, you're not.
Yeah, if you're not keeping score, why are we even doing this?
Yeah.
But it gives life lessons, and it's important to know how to hang out with people.
Yeah.
I know how to interact. Right. You hear that all the time about how just there's so many kids in this generation that I'm bringing my son up. Like, unless it's an online interaction. And my kid has that too. When he's playing video games, like, fuck, he's screaming at people. Not screaming, whatever. But it's kind of funny. And real interaction is good. And sports is one of those things that offers that to kids, where I don't know where they're getting it at other places.
I don't think they are. Like I really, like you said it before. I mean, I'm around a lot of. What should I word that? I'm around a lot of adolescents and things, not in an inappropriate way by any means, but they don't play enough, and they don't. Yeah. They're not around friends enough. And that's just society. It's what it is. But I'm kind of sick of hearing that. Well, that's society. That's just the way it is. Well, why don't us adults change the way it is? Yeah, and I'm not patting myself on the back here, but Jasper's a good kid, and he has friends like that. I got home, him and his buddy Sully, they were running errands with Kaylee, and Sully was going to hang out. They weren't in the basement playing video games. They were playing fucking wiffle ball in the front yard. When I just got home from, it was awesome. And they set up, Jasper moved my car so they wouldn't hit it. Yeah. So it was like he was proactive. And they're playing wiffle ball on the front yard when I got home. I used to love wiffle ball. Dad, like you see, and then even Sully he was pitching to Sully. They were throwing from the street to the house. And then he goes, I thought it was going to hit here, and it came right in for a strike. It was funny. It was just two boys throwing the wiffle ball at each other. And that's we used to play 2-on-2 baseball in the Little League Park across from my parents' house. And I don't know, I can't remember. There was 3 bases. There was home, first, and third. There was no second. 2-on-2 baseball in the outfield. And we used those Incredi balls. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember those. They were soft baseball with big seams on it, and you could throw those things fucking like no one's business, right? And it was hard to hit. And but we used to play in the outfield, and we used a little bat, and we improvised. It was great. And then it just, you remember like that's, I think that's where you learn to play. Like, so where you learn to play the game a little bit, because there's only X amount of practice time, and you emulated your favorite players and things like that. Like, it was I miss that shit. Well, and I think it was me being 50 and kind of waxing poetic about turning 50, but it was fucking awesome. No, I don't know if it's an urban legend or whatever, but you don't become an expert at something until you put your 10,000 hours in. Mm-hmm. When you're like 6 hours a day, 4 days a week during summer vacation, throwing and catching and hitting, not with coaching, you're just throwing and catching and hitting. That's hours. That's a lot of throwing and hitting and catching, as opposed to the kid that only does it at baseball practice or does it at hitting camp, who does it here, right? And that's, sure you're getting it and sure you're getting your instruction, but you're paying for it. Your folks are taking time to get you to and from these things, but there's a 200 meters away. There's a backstop and a pitching mound and time and a friend somewhere. And there's nobody there from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. No, nobody there. And then when the teams come in for their practice, then you fucking skedaddle. Yeah. But it's and you see some kids. I guess it's the joy of sport, and this is us shaking our fists at the clouds again, I guess. But there was a lot less distractions for us in our age group, and I'll admit it. Well, that was our distraction. right?
Yeah.
Like that was it. I mean, it was either that or go fucking smoke cigarettes and drink beers down the river or whatever. I'm not drinking beers.
My grade 9 graduation present was like the Atari 1600 or whatever. Like,
yeah, 2600.
Yeah, 2600. And, even that, as fun as the lowest of resolution graphics, I got some time in there, but even that, like, fuck, let's go outside.
Yeah.
Let's go outside.
No, it's weird. It's just weird. Sat next to a kid last night. He pitched for.
When you say kid now, I don't know if you mean a 23.
Well, he's 20. He was 20. I think he's 20 or 22. I don't know. Because I'm 50, right? So he pitched for Sylvan Lake last year, and he's a Vauxhall kid, Vauxhall Academy. And I knew who he was, and sitting next to another gentleman there, the ex-mayor of Spittsville, Mel Collier there, and he was talking some stuff. This is Ty Boudreau. He's not pitching this year for Sylvan Lake because his innings got cut off because he's going to Texas Tech next year. He just spent the last 6 weeks in the MLB draft system, like a camp, right, where they play tournament games and on it goes, and it's
like the combine, but it's
a combine, but it's
real game situations,
for 4 to 6 weeks, whatever it was. The metrics and the science and the care they put in these pitchers and stuff's arms, it was crazy to listen to this kid who's 22, 23 years old talk about this stuff like that. Yeah, this is how it is. And my mouth was is it agape? Is that the proper terminology? I was like,
jaw on the floor.
I was like, what? Oh yeah. I'm Texas Tech. They shut me down. I was supposed to play in Sylvan Lake, but I was over here and doing this, and on it goes. And it makes sense. Like, it makes sense. And I said, so what? And he's projected to go anywhere. And it was great. It was actually a really interesting conversation. Like, it was something I
would have loved to have been there.
It was something I was really, really interested in. Like, because I know how it works, but I don't know how it works. Does that make sense? And I was just shocked. He goes, yeah, I'm projected to go between the 11th and the 20th round. And that's high. Like, that's pretty high for baseball. And he's from Nova Scotia, I think. It's from Nova Scotia originally, and he played for for the Vauxhall. Then he went to somewhere else in Texas, and then So he's really good. He's really, really good. But he was the Texas Tech shut me down. But if I get drafted by such and such, I'm going to go to this school or to this team for a couple of weeks just to get to know some guys. Then I'm heading to the Arizona Fall or the Fall League, the Instructional League, whatever it might be, to learn how to be a professional and on. Like, just like, Jesus, fuck. There's a lot of moving. Like, it was mesmerizing to hear like the moving parts of how baseball works and how much care they put into. Because this kid, I don't want to say he's $1 million arm, but he's got $1 million arm. And
fuck, no one cares. No one cares. And that's the thing. Everybody telling him what to do, not one fucking person cares. Mm-mm. They care about what he can do for them. And that's why Texas Tech.
Yeah.
And then I wonder how that works with a scholarship, with a kid like so a kid from Lethbridge makes it big, goes to Texas Tech. So he's playing Div 1 for a decent team. And he wants to play for the Lethbridge Wolves. You can only throw 30 pitches a game. My arm, my decision.
Probably a scholarship. The coaches have big control. Because my brother's got a bill out in Victoria for the Harbor Cats. He's leaving next week. His inning limit's up already.
So they.
I personally think they stunt a pitcher's development. But they also have invested. They pay coaches how much? College, like Division I high end coaches make a lot of money, man. A lot. So then they have this kid. Okay, I need this kid for start this. They're already slated in when they're pitching next year, guaranteed.
No, but I agree with you, and I understand.
I'm not looking for an agreement. I'm just saying this is how it works.
No, but what I get that. But what if this kid says, no, I'm pitching these are my teammates. I'm going to the finals.
They probably lose their scholarship.
Okay, but then someone else, if you're that good, someone else is gonna if you're good enough for them to say shut it down, someone else is good enough to.
But they don't need a kid to get hurt in the middle of their season. Because they're making $4 million a year, whatever it might be. They don't need Ty Budor to get hurt when he's slated to pitch games 3, 7, 9, 12, 15, whatever it might be.
I wonder if this is going to change with NIL in the baseball ranks, because we haven't seen it, even though baseball is getting bigger and bigger and on the minor league level, because all these kids are getting better. Like there might be some NIL arrangements, right?
Yeah.
Like so some zillionaire
innings limits, whatever it might be, or innings max.
Yeah,
you pitch as many innings, and here it goes.
The Wood Bat League is owned by a billionaire, and like he goes, I'll sign your hey coach, don't worry about his scholarship. I'll take away his scholarship. He comes back to Texas Tech. I have his NIL agreement. He'll be fine. He's pitching to the championship.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden that coach is going to say, yeah.
Well, you look in our league, Dave. You look in our league. Fuck, you're putting 6,000 a night in fucking in Okotoks, right?
Yeah.
Some owner says, you know what, 6,000 people at fucking, you know what, at $50 a head, but not tickets, obviously, but for beer and hot dogs and popcorn and da. If I'm putting 6,000 people in here a night and I'm getting $50 per person when it's all said and done, that's a little bit of dough.
Yeah.
For 28 times a year.
I got his scholarship. I got his NIL. You don't fucking threaten him. He'll be ready for you in the fall.
Yeah.
Fuck off. This is as important to me than you. And then once again, I don't
more
know.
More so.
And then once again, the way we're talking about this, both people want to take advantage of this kid, because they're putting asses in the seats in Okotoks, and they're going to increase my win total at Texas Tech. So who's taking care of the kid? I don't know who's taking care of the kid on any level, because I do know for a fact, in WHL they all have their advisors. They're not allowed to have agents, but they have advisors, and those advisors, they're not talking to fucking the ham and eggers. They're talking to the elites.
Yeah,
and it's every kid that comes through. It's someone has their hand out and wants to get on those coattails, and if you get on enough coattails, sooner someone's going to take you to the right dance.
No, it was interesting. Like he was saying things like Jesus Christ, and we were laughing. Like it was a fun. It wasn't serious. It was a fun conversation, and he didn't I knew who he was because I've umpired him in the past in the league there, and interesting. It was interesting. It was just like I said, holy shit. I didn't know they existed. Like I knew there was something, but it was kind of cool. Just and that's one of the things I like about this gig that I have. Like I hate most of it, but that's one of those things. Like there was a kid that came in the office tonight. I can't remember. Aiden Newton. He played at PBA last year, and he pitched a school in Louisiana this year. I can't remember the name of it. And he said they played LSU in about their 7th game of the season. And he said they have a 15th, and they said we're in nobody's school. He said whatever. He said there was a 15,000 seat building that the LSU Tigers baseball team plays in. And if you look in the outfield, the LSU Tigers football stadium is right over, just over left center. And he says, he says, like, we're in nobody's school. It was a Tuesday, Wednesday they played. He said there was 11,000 people watching us because I've never seen anything like it.
Talk about remembering your first game under the lights.
Yeah. He was like, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And he said they were up 5-4 in the 8th, and then some big toad from wherever. That's his exact words. He said he hit a baseball so far, hadn't landed yet. It's just, he said, and the place went nuts. And this kid played in front of nobody last year. Nobody at PBA. Like 2 girlfriends and a parent, because it was 14 below.
Yeah. Wind in fucking March in the field and your fucking cleats are wet.
So, so it is neat hearing those stories. It is neat seeing like when kids tell those stories about what they've been doing. And then I think that guys like Jasper and guys like, and then some parents and everything else, that they need to see not Jasper, both like, and hear those conversations and be a part of it, because it's neat. Like, and just relax and enjoy it.
I agree. Yeah,
that's my biggest thing is parents and players and kids, they don't relax and enjoy it. And it's odd.
You know what? I'm going to say this for the group of parents I'm around. We're pretty relaxed.
Yeah.
Like Kaylee's much more involved than I am because I usually stay home on the weekends. But like, I'm friendly with all the parents. I don't know everybody as well as the others, but Kaylee knows them all and visits, and it's a pretty decent set of parents. And there's no, I remember going to baseball games of a buddy of mine when he was playing for one of the high school teams, and the parents back in the day then, like, so 20, 30 years ago, they were hardcore, bitching at umpires, bitching at players, and that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen anymore. It's a little bit more tongue in cheek, and you'll maybe hear a giggle from the bleachers.
Oh, yeah.
But there's no outright "you suck" That does not happen anymore.
We've talked about it before, and I can.
Yeah.
When they say there's abusive umpires, I was actually laughing about with some people last night and a few nights ago too about umpire abuse. And I was like, you fuckers have no idea.
Oh,
I said in 1999, when I actually umpired the very first fucking Leopards Bulls game, the first pitch of the game, Hubka was on third base, or it was in dugout, sorry. And it wasn't a strike. And I've known Hub forever, even before that, right? He was on me, and that was just the culture. And it was every fuck, where's that? Fuck you, fuck. And it wasn't polite.
That's what you do.
It's what it was.
Or not. Yeah, you just bitch at everything that doesn't go your way.
Like, I actually thought my name was Mr. Cocksucker. This is what it was, right? So I don't know. It's just it's different. It's hard. I wish there was a happy medium between the two.
Between old school and accepting it all, enjoying the moment, kind of.
Yeah. Like, I wish there was a happy medium between the two.
Yeah. I didn't enjoy that because I didn't care. I didn't have any kind of baseball culture ingrained in.
No, I'm talking in sports in general, like not just.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking baseball though.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, holy fuck. But I think back, yeah, the parents razz the ump, like, so like soccer was my thing, and basketball. I played basketball in high school. There was a lot more official abuse in there. Way more. Like that's part of the job as a ref, is to know you're going to get fucking shit talked all.
Yeah, not throwing a flag up and telling somebody they hurt your feelings. Fuck, bite back. Tell him to fuck off too.
I used to officiate. That was one of my jobs when I was in junior high. I was a soccer referee, and I'd bike my ass around town, and you'd ref the kids. Fuck people. I remember I was about 13 years. I was still pedaling my bike, so I was 13, 14, refereeing a 10-year-old game, and this one parent was just up my ass. I go, if you don't stop, I'm gonna call the game. And it was I'll never forget that. I was shit talking an adult when I was 14 because he was up my ass and I had fucking had it.
Yeah.
I had it. And my coach at that time too was one of the high level referees, and he had come to watch me. He came to watch me ref and stuff like that. And one time he told me like, don't put up with that shit. Don't put up with that shit. And so it was the week later, and then I told him, and he was so proud of me. So I did it for my coach, if that makes sense. Because, anyways, sorry, I rambled there.
No, I still do. I still, because they like the way the umpire schools and things, the way they teach stuff now is, well, you got to take a little bit. give a warning, and then eject. And whereas I'm like, I bite back and tell that fucker to shut up. Fuck you, fuck off, shut up. If I got to watch this shit, so do you. Fuck off, done. So I don't want to do post-game reports and that kind of stuff, really. I'm just not. So
you want to manage the crowd.
Manage the crowd, manage the managers, and just manage the game. Get out. There's cold beer in the umpire room, a stale hot dog, and see you later.
And tomorrow, neither of us are going to give a shit.
No. And you laugh about some fucking stupid fucking situation later on more than you laugh about the ejection, right? So this fucking guy, holy fucks, I told him to shut up and blah, 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 and then it's done. Then there was some jackass Bud Light fan in the 7th inning in Medicine Hat giving me shit, and I turned around and told him to shut up too. Whatever, right? It's just fun. And like it's supposed to be fun. None of us are going to the big leagues, right? No. Like the odd kid here and there are having a good time. Like parents have to realize their kids aren't going to the big leagues; they're having fun. And yeah, it's fun. It's just gotta relax. Dave, everyone's just gotta fucking relax, like you and me. Just relax.
But we like to get tense, but in controlled circumstances.
Yeah, crazy. How did we get to this point?
I have no idea, and I just looked at the time. I can't believe how long we've been talking about absolutely fucking nothing, but I think we solved a problem or two.
I think we made it cause a little bit more. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save $20 on your first purchase over there at SeatGeek.
Get some free parking. Or a bus pass.
Bus pass.
Are you thinking of going to a game or a concert in the coming days ahead, or do you already have tickets and want to upgrade where you're sitting? It's simple. Go to SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. They have tickets for all sports going on right now, as well as concert tickets to shows throughout North America. And to make things even better, use promo code 1420pod. That's 1420pod and receive $20 off your first purchase. Once again, that's promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app.
The 1420 Sports Bar Podcast, 4 Beer Sports Talking a whole lot more. This segment is brought to you by Righteous Felon Jerky. Go to righteousfelon.com for the best in craft jerky and use promo code BELLYUP for 15% off the best in craft jerky in the land. Dave, friend of the show, and I've been meaning to get back to him. I apologize. Busy and everything else. And, you know, you get in your own life and everything else going on. But I should respond to Jim. He's been good to our show, and we've been on, he's a friend there. We've been on with him a few times in the past. We're both faithful listeners to his show, and he's a faithful listener to our show as well. But there's a bit of a, I don't know if you call it a Freudian slip or just fucking complete lunacy. Dave, Jim asked the question on his show today, is Florida a hockey town? First of all, Florida's a state. So it's not a hockey town. And no, it's not. Because if you watch a hockey game during the regular season, in the great state of Florida, it's not a hockey town, it's a state. Jim, fan of the van, Plotner, this is pointing at you. It's not. It was like they won the Stanley Cup. They were in the finals last year. I get it. They have a great team. I get it 100%. But it's not that's not a hockey town at all. At all. Miami or where Sunrise, where I don't even know where Sunrise is. It's somewhere in south of Miami, I think. North of Miami. See, exactly. Who cares? It's not a hockey town. It's not a hockey state. It's not a hockey anything. Florida, like Tampa Bay has done well, but the Panthers was a shiny new toy. So, Jim, there's your answer right there from Brent. Dave, I want to hear if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying.
I have 2 points to bring up, and then I will let the facts speak for themselves. You know, on Google Maps, you can go and get to an area. I did that for Sunrise Florida, and then search this area for blank. So I searched for ice arenas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 arenas from Miami to Sunrise, Florida, and one of them is the Florida Panthers. So to be a hockey state, town, area, you have to have youth playing hockey, and for 1.5 million people, I don't know what the population is, to have only 10 hockey rinks. There's no one playing hockey there. Part 2 is you look at the Moss Pit, the place you couldn't drag me to at gunpoint, where the Moss Pit is the place outside of Rogers Stadium that hosts the viewing parties. That was packed. I didn't see one picture of one Florida viewing party when they were in Edmonton.
No, swimming lagoons out back.
Swimming in lagoons out back. Like, I don't know even if they sold out the Florida. When the Oilers were on the road, the Rogers place was sold out for people to watch the game. Yeah. And that fucking place outside was sold out for people to watch. That's what the hockey town is. So even though the Stanley Cup has flown in Florida now for 2.5 of the last 6 years, it's not a hockey state. It's just, I think the Squirrels found the nut there, and they.
Well, I never thought of this until you just mentioned it, Dave. The last 2.5 out of 6 years for the COVID trophy that the Lightning won, and then they won their other one, and then Florida won this year, and then they're in the finals last year. And this is completely what we weren't going to talk about tonight. But is the NHL in trouble because cities with no or states with no income tax? That's what goes to the finals.
See, I don't. I hear what you're saying there. I don't think that matters that much to the players if they have a point to win. Do you know who it matters to? GMs and talent scouts and stuff. The people making between $150,000 and $350,000 a year, having no state income tax means a shit ton more to them than someone making $9 to $15 million. No,
I know what you're saying, but I tell you what, like I'm going to put money on it. When Stamkos was offered X amount of dollars by the Leafs when in his free agency year, fucking 8 years ago now, whatever it was. If there was no provincial tax in Toronto compared to what it was in Florida, I guarantee he was a Maple Leaf.
Disagree. Completely disagree. He signed for less, and you don't think Toronto would make it good, and you don't think he can make that up in endorsements? 100% disagree on that one. Oh. We watched those guys play last night. You think any one of them was playing for the cheaper income tax thing last night? Absolutely not.
No, but when you get contract negotiations, someone says, "Hey, you're going to make 25% more money because no taxes here."
Well, then
it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, but it
doesn't help Edmonton, and it doesn't hurt fucking Florida. You can't disagree with that.
No, I will agree with you. But then there always is the thing: where do I have a better chance to win? Is
with the elite, but your mid-range guys who actually win cups for you, that matters.
I know, and then when we say no, they still pay tax. They pay no state tax. So when we pay our taxes here, right, we pay governmental and provincial tax, and the provincial tax is much lower than the federal tax.
Yeah.
Right. When they're making money, like I don't know how much money they're saving. I really don't. Like it's not. Lot. Yeah. Well, it's a lot because it's a lot of zeros to start with, right?
Well, more zeros.
I don't know. More zeros are better than less zeros when it comes to paychecks.
Unless it's 0 times 0, because that's really zero.
It has to start with a number. It always starts with a number.
And have another number with a crooked number behind it. Round number behind a round number, not very good.
And .00 doesn't count.
Yeah, the odd comma. The odd comma doesn't hurt either.
Commas are better than periods, that's for sure. So, back to being on track. I don't think it matters as much as people might make it out to. But, like as to whether Miami Sunrise is a hockey city or Florida is a hockey state, absolutely not.
It's not.
They're not. Watch how
it's probably like when they go to the finals. And I've had some friends who've been to Tampa. They say it's fantastic. But outside of their fan base of, let's say, in a population of Tampa, I don't know what it is. A few million people, who knows? I don't know. Greater Tampa, I don't care. They probably have a really strong base of 50,000 people, right? 18,000, 17,000 go to the game. 50,000 might go to 4 games.
Yeah.
And the Florida Panthers, way less than that. Way less than that. Because you watch games on TV and there's no one in the building. Nobody.
And they don't have the tradition, even though they came in and around the same time.
And the thing another thing is that they're the ninth donkey in the race down there, right?
Oh, for sure.
I don't think they're behind the Marlins. But they're behind every Florida football team. They're behind NASCAR. They're behind the fucking Dolphins. They're behind the Heat. On and on it goes.
And the Marlins are just like, a decent season or two to surpassing that, right? Like, and the Marlins still probably might have a better fan base than the.
No, they're fucking. That's not good at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I get it. It's not good, but they're only a season or two away from not packing. You can never pack summer outdoor sports in Miami.
There's a reason why Jeter left. He saw it was a fucking tire fire, and he said, "Fuck this, fuck that, I'm out."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dave, the other night we talked about taking your net and going home after you lose the Stanley Cup final, whatever it might be, and it's funny. I talked to people about this a little bit the last few days, and everybody's pretty much in agreement. Maybe it's a Canadian thing where you want to win and you're not going to sit there and on and on. And I don't know what happens in football if you stand out there in the field. Okay, actually, you know what? In football, when a team loses Super Bowl, because I don't know, that's what I'm going to ask. Like in the regular season, they all go and hug and trade jerseys and everything else, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
game's over. Do they do that in Super Bowl? Because they never really focus on that. Do they go and hug and sing "Kumbaya" around fucking center, around the midpoint of the field? And everything else?
I think they do a lot more than probably in that game more than any other, because they have to get that stage set up for the royalty to get up on. And they have to get the walkway and the pathway, and they have to cordon off. They got the velvet rope, so the presenter of the owner's trophy gets to walk through the crowd. They probably got 20, 30 minutes to do that. And, and in football, there's a lot of players that know each other from being same collegiate, being from the same area of the country, from playing on teams together. I think they do a lot of visiting before that. And I don't think they trade jerseys in football like they do in soccer and basketball, but
no, football they do a lot.
Oh, do they?
A lot. Oh yeah. I watch it, makes me sick.
I don't see it. Where are you watching this?
NFL games all the time.
Show me a picture.
I'm not gonna cut away
from
the original broadcast.
Not right. We're not right fucking now, but like I don't know. I didn't even realize that was a thing in the NFL, to tell you the truth.
They're the biggest frauds going. Hold hands around center, around the fucking midpoint of the field.
Oh, I don't dig on that.
Praying to whoever and whatever.
That ain't my bag. I'm not in that circle, but if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. I'm not going to shit on them for that.
I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying they shouldn't do it.
We just finished talking about last week. Did we applaud the tradition of the handshake? A
handshake is different than sitting around praying afterwards. Way different.
Because it's non-denominational and it's all-inclusive.
Well, no. Just don't do it, man.
It's just better.
Like, it's your mortal enemy for 24 hours. Where does that 24 hours start?
What do you mean? Like, where does it start? It starts with the prayer. A lot of these players pray before a game.
God ain't watching.
God don't care. I have no doubt. But whatever gets you through the game. When I went to I think I've said it before, a private Christian school in my kid, and then we prayed before. Well, we prayed. Someone prayed. I listened before we left the locker room every game on the road.
I find that hard to believe that you didn't fucking talk during the prayer.
No, I never did. I was quiet because we were a corporal punishment school too. Don't worry. This kid saw the end of some wood and some leather in his day. Going through elementary.
You got to watch how you word that. So we'll be under investigation right away, Dave. It's not a very good thing.
Oh no, I could probably, if I given the time, I could even give you dates and times where wood hit my ass. Fuck, I got wooden spoons. I got wooden rulers. I got a leather strap. Fuck.
Really? No.
Oh yeah, on the hand hurts like hell.
Oh, I never did that.
That hurt. That made me cry.
I think the teachers and principals knew better, eh? Fucking Fist of Fury Redlinsky would come out swing if they hit me.
But nonetheless, I thought we digressed. I don't like talking about
what's going on here.
About corporal punishment back in the day.
So, Dave, anyways, we got to talking the other night, if you lost the Stanley Cup, World Cup, World Series, whatever.
Biggest game of your life.
Biggest game of your life, and you're not getting back there. You know this is it.
Second place.
You've been 15-year career. 15 years, this is it. Corey Perry's already, that's a bad example. He's already won.
Terrible.
MVPs, whatever.
He's used to it, though.
If you're Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, 15 years to the day that he got drafted by the Oilers. 14 years, sorry. And then this is it. Fuck, I'm done. When you lose a huge game, I said the other night, you said the other night, that we'd both be poopy. How poopy do you get, and what are you doing? Like, what are you doing to escape the fucking madness and just try to make yourself feel okay about everything?
I'm going to preface it with this. So after the game, you got your media and your coach, and you flew people in. So you got to see mom, dad, wife, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then after your obligatory visits there, I myself would say, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Are you going to be okay? I'll talk to you tomorrow. And then go in the locker room and hang with your boys. And after all that shit's done and you're taking your gear off and you're having a couple beers, and then any team like that, you're going to have your group in there. And it's for me, it would be let's go find a place. And then go find a place and sit there and then talk and share stories about the season. Talk and say oh, I thought we were fucked this. I thought we were fucked this. And then remember when this happened. Remember then when this happened. And then try and not try. It's going to come out. The good parts of the season. And then I wish we would have won, but I'm so happy to be here with you guys right now. That's, you know what? That's what's me thinking about it for 48 hours. And that's my romantic version of what would happen. And not get right shit faced, or maybe you do get right shit faced, but talking with the group on your team, not everybody there, because I don't care what team you're on. There's a couple, if that motherfucker comes, I'm out of here.
First thing I'm doing is I'm getting the fucking, I'm you watch the cup getting hoisted. They put all the fucking black aces out there, and this guy and that guy, some guy who played one game back, whatever, and then parents and hoisting the cup. And so all those people are there. So all those same people were there for the Oilers as well, right? So none of them are invited to my fucking little fucking post-mortem fucking soiree.
So we're both totally in agreement.
Like, I don't need some guy who played in the fucking Bakersfield Condors or the fucking minor league team is. They ain't coming. They're not, unless it's, you know, a teammate that's been there and going up and down. You know what I'm saying? Some guy who fucking came up, fuck off.
Timeout, just a sidebar. So when the Flames lost to, who'd they lose to? Fucking Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Noodles was at those Game 7 postmortem parties. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like, he's not on the team.
Obviously, there's exceptions. If you're a good guy, you're a good guy.
Correct. Yes, but carry on.
If you've been a teammate in the past, okay, one thing. Then I'm buying a carton of darts. A carton.
Marlboro Golds?
Oh.
Camel Crushes? You don't care.
Whatever they have in the fuck, because I'm putting down the Amex. And I'm going down to the fucking 7-Eleven and said, give me darts. Whatever you're allowed to give them to me.
Box of beer and a carton of darts.
No, a truck of beer. No, because we're going to a pub or we're going to a dive bar. Somewhere. And I, like, me personally, drink some beers and hang out. And, you know, I'm a personable guy. And I'll hang out and talk. But when me personally, when I'm done being man of the people, I'm sitting down and I'm going to commiserate for about probably 10 minutes by myself. Just have a beer, couple of darts, hanging out. Then people just sit down and I don't want, I honestly, I wouldn't want to talk about it. I wouldn't.
No, because you can't.
It'll get to that at 2 a.m, but I don't want to talk about it. Like, fuck, man. Like, we lost.
Yeah,
try to laugh, joke about stupid things and training camp, and then, like, get to the point where you say, you know what, it sucks. This fuck, and admit it. Say, this fucking sucks. But you know what? It's better than that guy. It's better than that guy. Make a joke about the Leafs, whatever. Like, fuck.
And at the end of the day,
let's not mull and fucking piss and moan about what we didn't do. So you know what? And have another dart and, like, fucking put 4 across your grill.
But and bust balls and just it's be a team and
be pissy fucking tomorrow.
You know, I say it all the time, like, about shared experiences, right? Like, the people at your table that you choose to be at your table at that time, you have the shared experience. You have the shared experience of coming back from 3-0. You have the shared experience of losing Game 7, and now we're having the shared experience of
laughing about it.
It's so fucking close. And I love you, boys. And there's going to be a lot of pretty good hugging going on, you know. And sometimes a drunken bro hug is just as good as a stranger high.
Darts. Darts.
Nothing.
Like,
nothing.
Filter. Like, you don't even need a Bic lighter. Just filter to filter.
Turkey fuck those fuckers.
Like, nonstop darts. No? Because you've been training for how many months and you did your things and stuff, and I'm going to dart and then take selfies and send them to whoever the fuck. Put it up on TV. I don't give a fuck. And you know what? I don't think anybody would care.
Oh, that's not true. If you're going to get crucified for not coming on the ice to get the Conn Smythe, they're going to crucify you to if you have a dart.
I go on the ice and dart in my mouth to get the Conn Smythe if I lost.
No jersey, just shoulder pads.
No jersey, shoulder pads, elbow pads off, fucking dart in your yap, roll up your sleeve, put it in there. When Gary Bettman's fucking telling you that you won the Conn Smythe, he goes, fuck. Yeah, that's not the trophy I wanted, but whatever, Gary.
He wants to get.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah, thanks,
and call him Jerry. Thanks, Jerry.
With a
offer him a drag. Put it in his yap.
With a Michelob. Hand it to him while you grab the trophy.
Yeah.
Could you hold this for me?
Can you hold this for me so I can put up this fucking trophy?
You had him your Michelob, your old Milwaukee.
And then have your dart and your yap so it gets in your eyes you can't even see. That's how you do it. That's how the next loser of the Stanley Cup wins the Conn Smythe.
Someone like me, and then have a fucking sponsorship deal with it. Like instead of I'm going to Disneyland, you have it with Camel.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking Camel Land, whatever. That's how you do it.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, dart in your yap.
That would be a brew ha.
Fuck, that would be, you get 10 billion clicks.
You would go globally viral.
Yeah, people in India are, what the fuck's going on?
Who the fuck is this? Is real? This is not real. It
can't be real. No, this is actually happened. And only a Canadian NHL guy can do that. Right?
Or a Russian.
Fuck. Whatever.
A Russian, I don't even know.
Yeah, fuck. We fucking lost, man. Like, fuck, why am I out here? Can you imagine?
I have to hit the treadmill for 10 miles in 3 days, so I'm fucking I'm gonna smoke now.
I had some fucking cocksucker sticking me in the balls for the last 3 weeks. This season's so fucking long. I'm having a dart. Fuck off. Jesus Christ.
You talk about their titty girl going viral. That would go viral.
Yeah. Fucking McDavid coming out on the ice and darting his yap. You know that? Or
anybody. Like just fuck. That's not victory cigars. Like fucking
a dart. Like fucking and a half dart with the fucking with the
cherry.
the cherry on the end of it hanging off because you don't want to put it on the ice.
People flicking their butts into the crowd.
Yeah, I'm done. Fuck. Flick your butt at the fucking team that won.
Well, they're gone, right? But
no, they're still on because they announced McDavid before they hoisted the cup.
Yeah.
So McDavid comes out and he flicks his dart at the fucking guys. Fuck me. That's the most classless thing ever to give a fucking guy the trophy. It's not classless on McDavid's part, but it's just like. Know the room. Read the room, man.
Yeah, like you're doing this on the ice. Like it's like I said on the other day. Like if you want to give it to him behind closed doors, like in the press room.
Yeah.
But like not when everybody's just like jonesing for the cup. Like fuck.
The only way to make that better it's going to happen again 10 years from now or 12 years from now when we're still doing this stupid fucking show and we're 60 plus years old, fucking having a dart in your yap. Fuck, they have to. Oh, Jesus, that's funny.
That's funny.
That's what I would do. So, yeah. So, anyway, so after you lose, you leave the building. I'm finding some fucking dark, dingy pub and doing
like kind of the same thing. Just your boys on the team.
Yeah.
Or is the whole team coming? Do you say it to everybody?
No, there's guys who are free agents that I don't want around. This is my night. Like if I'm the star of the team, you know what? Not even the star of the team. If I'm the popular guy on the team, boys, we're going here. Because there's guys who know I got to go with my family, and they aren't team guys.
Yeah.
I'm putting the announcement out there. It's not a must. You don't have to. I'm saying we're going here. Whoever's coming is coming. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I got fucking 8 cartons of darts. Bar tabs on me. Whatever. We're going to this. We're going to fucking happy endings.
Or what are your guys that has a guy that used to play in Florida or something like that? You got a place for us? Oh yeah, and then you say that and it's the same guy that runs the music. The same guy that there's a fun guy on teams. Like teams that get this far, they have team chemistry. It's impossible not to do it. They're not all professional all the time. They've had some times, and you got a guy.
Happy endings bar and grill and fucking wherever the fuck.
It's not a strip joint, isn't it? I don't want to go to a strip joint. No. Totally. It's like the boar's nest.
Does my wife come and sure, whatever. Does she smoke? Yeah, good. Shove a lighter because I always lose mine.
Yeah. This ain't for everybody, though. You understand. Oh yeah.
Like we're not.
No, yeah, like and all of a sudden, buddy's mom and dad show up. Like, fuck, I'm out of here. Like my night's ruined.
Yeah,
like it's ruined. This isn't what I want. It's just everybody leave everybody behind. This is
for the guys.
For the guys, and we're gonna.
This is the last time. This is the last time we're together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we just had a shared moment that really fucking sucked. And this is the last time we're going to be able to talk about it.
And we'll share it over a fucking Marlboro fucking extra strong XXX.
Oh, the Reds are my favorites. They're my original smoke.
Smoke and put a fucking Camel in there as well. Whatever.
Camels make me cough. I like them though.
Cigarettes make you cough. It's not fucking Camel.
No, just Camel. Well, you should hear me cough on Camels.
Jesus. That was fun, Dave. I think we solved it.
We have some interesting points that should be putting into law.
We went nowhere tonight. We made a lot of laughs. Anyways.
But yeah, we made some sense. You know, I got a would you rather. I haven't had a would you rather in a long time. And
we've been busy.
But like I mentioned, I had a bit of highway time today, so I was able to catch up on some podcasts. And so I don't even know which ones I hear these things from. But like, someone mentioned, this is from the Jimmy Trainer podcast, and he has a buddy, Sal Licata in New York, who's funny, I think, and so nonetheless. He was telling a story a couple of weeks ago how he had to buy tickets, but he works for WFAN, but he was buying tickets on the scalper market. And then so someone asked, like, don't you get press? He goes, yeah, but sometimes I want to go as a fan. Sometimes I can go as press. And the organization he works for is banned from Madison Square Gardens because of Dolan being a fucking moron. Yeah. So nonetheless, here's my question. 1420 Sports Podcast gets press accreditation. So we can go to anything we want now. Anywhere we want. We get in for free. But here's the thing. Okay. So when you're there with your press credentials, no jerseys, no rooting, no drinking. Or you just keep it as status quo and you pay your own way.
Pay my own way.
Pay my own way.
Yeah.
No high-fiving. Like, you're not a fan anymore. Now we're journalists. But you know what I'm saying? Like, in this fairyland world.
No.
Like, so being able to go to anything, but never being able to wear a jersey, never being able to high-five a stranger, never being able to have a couple too many in the press box.
No.
Sports is more important than reporting.
Yes,
I agree. I thought that's what.
And that's what's wrong with sports reporting and broadcasting. Now they can't be a fan of the team anymore. Be a fan, but free is good though. No,
and game 7 free. Like game 82 free, game 125 free.
No, because you might see something cool. You want to have a high five and a beer and a dart.
But you're there, and then you're also there at every game, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they smoke. I'm sure there's smokers in the press room.
They better.
They gotta have. I can't imagine. Didn't Howard Cosell used to fucking drink scotch and smoke cigars? Yeah. At everything. But it's a thing. We say we're sports fans and this and that. But now given the opportunity to go to every single game free, but not wear a jersey. But I guess it's not being a fan.
No, I wouldn't wear a jersey. But to not be able to smoke and drink, I'm not doing that.
I wonder what it is like in the press boxes. You read stories of like Pat Summerall was fucking tanked, and same with Harry Carey. Like when they were
Harry Carey did a fucking few innings out in fucking right field at Wrigley, drinking fucking Budweisers. This ain't brought to you by Budweiser. And fucking 106 beer later.
I got to think that seventh inning, the take me out to the ball game thing that he used to do.
1, 2, 3, just fucking ginned right up.
And all he had to do was just get through that, and then he can just stay sober enough to do that, okay? That's all we ask.
But then to get to the ninth after that.
Holy cow,
you still got to finish it off. Error by Sandberg. That's not Sandberg.
And the Cubs lose another one.
No,
tomorrow.
I would never, ever be able to go to a game and not have if I was like pressed. But what you presented there, Dave, I'm going to the game. If I can't do that, I'm doing that.
Would you stop your enjoyment of the game? Or not stop. Would enjoying the game when it becomes a job? And I'm sorry, I didn't mean I'm relating that to what you're doing now. Is your enjoyment of baseball ever being diminished by your job in baseball?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, and you have more access now, and you see more people.
About the third, game nights are great, but I got to get to the third inning of every night, and then it's great. So I can sit around, watch, and hang out. And
so, what about a reporter now? Then, when it's your job, you're still watching. You're not. You got to watch the ninth. Yeah, they do. They have their story ready. And then it's fuck. Nothing wrecks a reporter's night more than a 4-run. 4-run comeback in the bottom of the ninth.
or a 16-run ninth inning. Jeez. Do you see that?
No, where did that happen?
In Brooks tonight, the Bulls scored fucking 16 in the ninth. 4 home runs in a row. One kid hit 2 with the same inning.
To win what? What was the final score?
22-5. Yeah. Scored 16 in the ninth.
Oh, fuck. In the top of the ninth.
Yeah.
And then so it's not even over. You still have to have the other team come and fucking play their thing.
Jesus Christ. That's funny. Anyways. Fun show tonight, Dave.
It was a great show tonight.
It's one of our better ones in a long time.
No, I
don't know what we talked about, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, because we came in with a loose outline, no real topics, a couple of things we wanted to touch on, and we just waxed poetic, I believe is the term.
Yeah, darts. Just darts.
And finished with darts and who wants to smoke?
If you were to, we'll finish it on this. If you were to be down and dispute about your team losing, we're talking healthy lung Dave back in 1997, 98, whatever it might be. How many darts could you take down in a 8-hour period?
Back in the day or right now?
Back in the day.
Oh, back in the day. I've smoked a pack in the night back in the day, but in the morning, it was like I was breathing through a fucking cocktail straw.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurt.
And
so
now,
bad.
and now,
I'm pretty good. I've never, but I don't smoke that much in the night anymore because I'm not in those party smoke. I don't party smoke anymore.
Yeah.
I just smoke. So it's a little bit different. I would imagine if I took down a pack in an 8-hour period, or 10-hour period, like we used to do in the back in the day, then I'd probably be hurting a little bit. I don't know exactly the answer.
I think I could probably, to this day, if I was in a disgruntled move, lose the Stanley Cup final, I could take down a pack in about 4 hours.
That's a lot of smoking. That's John Cougar Mellencamp smoking.
I could do that.
I'll tell you this:
my 50th birthday, I'm gonna take down a pack.
I'll tell you this: I normally get home and I'll have between 5 and 10 cigarettes. If I get if my pack of smokes, I'm not a pack a dayer. Yeah. I'm about 2 packs every 3 to 4 days, just day dependent. And then when I do that outside show we did last night, I had 5 smokes, which is normally fine for a night. And then and I was like, fuck. Smoked all 5. Smoked all 5 in one recording.
I like darting, man. I like darting.
Who are you talking to?
Oh.
I can't stop smoking, and it bothers me.
Deanne, too, eh? She feels worse about failing quitting than smoking.
Yeah, same. Like, it's just my natural thing. Like I was doing really good, and then I had some life stressors, and then I started again, and it's just like, fuck it. Like, what do I care? I got young people all around me dying, like, and they don't smoke. Yeah. So why I should smoke? Like, fuck, I'll smoke.
Cartons. Carton this weekend. Stress.
Well, I'll come by with a pack for you then. What's your brand?
Whatever's in someone else's pocket.
And that was always a thing. Like, no, like
OPS, other people's smokes.
Yeah, like I quit smoking. You quit smoking, or you quit buying smokes. Like,
I never bought them. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Good smokes. Yeah. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. 4 Beer Sports talking a lot of smokes worth of sports. Take care of each other. More importantly, take care of yourself. You're wrong. Keep you sick on the ice. And what else, Dave?
No swinging at high pitches. Jimmy, I hope you're doing all right there in Vancouver.
He's got something big going on.
Shit's going on. Head down, ass up, and just
Jimmy Valentine.
The man, the myth.
The legend.
Have
Jimmy
fun.
Valentine.
Enjoy your summer, Jim. I hope to see you again pretty soon. Maybe you should come out for Uncle Brent's Big 5-0.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, they're coming. I am going to see them again. Your family's nice. They'll come out. They'll surprise you.
No, it's not a thing.
It's always a thing.
Anyways. The 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 4 Beer Sports talking a whole lot more. Have a good night, folks. We'll talk to you again sometime next week. Monday's not a thing. Canada Day, probably Tuesday, and then Thursday, and on we go.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk when we talk. I'm glad we got our 2 in this weekend. Happy Canada Day, everybody. You're not going to hear from us before then. Our American listeners, July 1st is your July 4th.
Yeah.
But
carton of smokes. Light a firework with a cigarette.
Oh, I've done that. Fuck, who hasn't done that?
Right way.
I still got all my fingers and toes.
Here we go. Have a good night, folks. Talk to you next week.
I pity the fool that hasn't lit a firework with a cigarette.